We're going to be reacting to a snippet from the New Heights podcast. The Kelce brothers are going to explain NFL defenses to new fans of the game. Now, I'm not the newest of fans, but from a tactical perspective, I'm kind of clueless, guys. I don't really know what's going on tactics-wise because I've never played the game, and I only really tend to watch highlight packages, if I'm being honest. I've watched the odd full game, but not very many, so I need some help here. And who better than the Kelce brothers to help a man out? Let's dive straight in and see if they can help me.
At Fatty Cat 3, all right.
Fatty Cat 3. This is a great podcast, by the way, if you've not checked it out before.
Yeah, it's a good handle. On Threads, can you explain zone coverage? That's a fair question. That's a pretty fair question. What is the mysterious zone everyone keeps mentioning? And why do I always think of Top Gun Highway to Danger Zone? That's a fair question. And I guess it's kind of like
right, so if we're going to take a guess, maybe I do know more than I'm letting on here, because if I was to take a guess, I'm going to say zone coverage means that you're marking a zone rather than a man. Is that right? Same as in football, soccer. You're covering an area as opposed to a specific guy.
Zone coverages?
Like yeah, it's like a little bit like
I don't know. Highway to... Well, there is a danger zone, and that's
Danger
a specific area, and that's what zone coverage is, so...
Ooh.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and explain some zone coverage?
See, you're throwing this at me because you want to trap me, because you know that I am not as familiar with this as you are.
Some brotherly love.
But you know what? I'll take the bait.
Let's see it. Let's hear it.
So zone coverage, as opposed to man coverage, is what it sounds like. Man coverage, you have the offensive player in front of you. You are locked on. That's your guy.
Speaking from a defensive standpoint.
And then zone coverage is you are responsible for a portion of the field or a spot. And oftentimes that is in relation to where receivers are located and can change based on formations and structure of the offense.
Very well put.
There are different types of zones.
Just like there's different types of man. Yeah.
Okay. There is middle field open, which would be two safeties in the middle of the field is kind of that are splitting the halves of the field. Or quarters.
Nice.
Then you have middle field closed, which would be a single high safety playing the zone in the middle of the field, deep part of the field. Middle field open coverages are typically forms of 2 or 4, and there are combo coverages, which I will...
They definitely need some animations over the top of this, because I've lost already. Middle field open, he said. You got 2 safeties either side, I guess going for the corners. Middle field closed. He said 1 safety in the middle, marking the middle of the field.
I am less inclined to understand. And then there is your generic cover 3, which is a type of middle field closed. Another type of middle field closed would be man coverage with a single high safety in the middle. Travis, I think this is where you come in and get more detailed than what I was able to.
I'll give you for offensive line.
Thank you.
That's pretty damn good, man. You could play for me any day, bud.
You lost me, Jason.
All right, so basically, your zone covers exactly what Jason said. You have a certain area on the field, or you latch onto a specific guy if he comes through your zone. Right? It all switches. It all depends on what kind of or what style of defense you have, and the strategy that the defensive coordinator, is teaching. And that switches in every single defensive room in the league. Cover 3 doesn't look the same in every single defense. There's certain rules that if I got into it would get extremely complicated, but
extremely detailed.
Cover 3 is exactly what it says. There's 3 people deep. Mm-hmm. Cover 1, there's 1 person deep, and everyone's trying to play outside leverage on a specific man and force them to the middle of the field. Cover 2, typically you have 2 high, right? There's 2 high safeties. Cover 4, there's 4 people deep. So it's really telling you how many people are the furthest back, and that actually tells you certain rules that the underneath guy.
Travis would be an excellent teacher. Travis did a way better job than Jason, even if Travis knows more about the topic. I feel like he explained it way more in layman's terms, in simple terms. Maybe he's more of a simple man than Jason. Maybe there's more simple things going on in his head. That's no disrespect to Travis. I love Travis. But he explained that well. That was a good explanation.
As well. Very, very nicely done, Jason.
Or maybe he's been explaining it to Taylor recently.
So there's some zones that I am unfamiliar with.
Okay, let's talk about them.
So, what is cover 6? I know it's some type of 2 and 4 combined, but I don't know what it is.
It actually switches in every offense too. So how you label defenses switches in,
Sure.
like how you schematically label a defense, or your coaches label a defense is going to be different in every single offense. Like some people say quarter half is cover 5. Some people say quarter half is cover 6, and a combo coverage like quarter half is cover 2 on one side and cover 4 on the other side.
Right.
And what that does is just presents certain answers for teams if they go 3-by-1, situations like that.
I'm completely lost.
That's all I really got for you.
So it's like quarter half more based on offensive. Like, would that be like something where they call cover 4, but then because there's so many players to a certain area, they play cover 2 in the other side too, because there's less space over there maybe for one player?
I think it
Or do you think it's called right away?
I think it's called right away. Some people just
None of them are
run,
good teachers.
Cover 2 or cover 4 to a 3-by-1, or even in a 2-by-2, and just give like certain blitz looks out of it. It can get pretty complicated, but at the end of the day, they call quarter half because there's quarters. There's technically 3 safeties deep, but there's
If you look at the middle of the field.
Yeah, if you look at the middle of the field.
Yeah, but you said 2 on one side, 4 on the other. That's not quarter, half, is it? Because 2 isn't a quarter of 6. It's a third. Is it? 4.
All right, nice. If you look in the middle of the field, one half of the field is playing cover 4, and the other half of the field is playing cover 2. So it'll look like there's 3 safeties deep, but you're really playing a combo coverage of a middle field open style defense.
But 4 isn't half of 6.
Which typically presents all the underneath guys that have inside leverage, except for the corner in cover 2.
Yeah. I don't know if any of this is helping you, Fatty Cat.
Well, it didn't help me. I'm not
Answer
fatty
really
cat,
something.
Yeah, I think the bottom line is a lot of the zone coverage principles allow the defense to pass players off and sit in their areas, and that or there are certain route combinations and oh my gosh, what am I? Concepts. Thank you. There are certain concepts that are good for different coverages, for zone or man. All of these things are called usually with certain things in mind. And when the defense can make these zone coverages look as similar as other zone coverages, make them all look kind of the same, it presents difficulties in trying to decide where players and defenders are going to be from a leverage standpoint. Good DCs make them all look the same, in my opinion. If you can make your 2, 4, 3, if you can start in the same presentation and get to it,
doing with your hands,
that's when you really got something tricky going on in the back end.
If you can hide it, man, it becomes tough.
It's harder to do than it says, and if you got some players that are horses, you can get compromised trying to hide it, but it definitely it's harder when you don't know what it's going to be. That's for sure.
Anything that, as a defense, anything that you can do to just get the offense to be a tick off, because a lot of the offense is based off of timing. The quarterback's drop when he has the ball in his hands, the timing of a certain route, an over under read, and there's so many different reads for the quarterback, but it's really based off of his timing, his footwork, his feet, and his progression throughout the play all have to match up and kind of be in sync to get the ball out on time. And if you can get an offense to kind of take their feet or second guess, that's when you got something.
Fatty Cat, I hope that kind of explains zone and what these zones are.
They did a good job of explaining the basic meaning of zone coverage. But the other stuff, we need animations here, guys. We need your editors need to up the game here.
Yeah, Brian, we're gonna need you to clean that up too.
We're gonna have a test here for you coming up.
Okay. One thing I'll throw out there: if you guys have played the game, I've never played American football, but I've played soccer. Okay. I used to hate playing any form of like zone defense. I'm a defender. Like, I just hated it. We call it zonal marking, so you're just marking an area. I used to like the fact of man to man. I know the guy. I know I can see him. I can look him in the eyes and think, you're my man. I am going to not let you score this game. I'll do anything I can to prevent this man from scoring. As soon as you're marking zones, it gets all confusing, man. It gets all confusing. What if 2 people come in your zone? You know, that sort of stuff like can throw the whole thing off. But I guess it's completely different in American football too. soccer. You guys let me know your thoughts down below. I'm sorry if this wasn't the best reaction. I don't watch the videos before I react. We're authentic over here. We're going to have daily videos coming, so make sure you're subscribed. Give the video a like, comment down below. I'll see you for the next one. Take it easy. Peace.